to what Arty Noobs with general disturbance. This is a Sexton I. It's a tier 3, or is it tier 4? No, it's tier 3 British premium SPG. This one's located on the northeast spawn of Arctic region, and it's under the command of Cursed by Design. Yes, one of only 2 premium SPGs in the game, the other one being the Fifi. Game on. Well, it's based on hull of the M3, and it's got a 25-pounder gun for its howitzer for its main armament. That's 87.6mm in caliber, or 3.45 inches. It's capable of doing 280 alpha and will penetrate 45mm of armor with a shot velocity of 410 meters per second. And he's got premium rounds as well. He's got the armor piercing. That's capable of 180 alpha and penetrating 92mm of armor. Okay, he's ready to go. A lot of players got hold of the Sexton I when it was in one of the lure packages on the loot boxes a couple of years ago, and it has been sold on at least one occasion. It's quite a natty arty at this stage, because, or at this level, because after all it's in against tier 3s, tier 4s and potentially tier 5s. Though slow moving targets with very little armour and also low hit points. Now, Panzer 38T appeared nearby. Panzer 38T, which means it's a foreign import. If they have the T symbol in brackets, it means it was not a German tank, but it was actually a tank built by another country. In this case, it's Czechoslovakia. Okay, we've got an M3 Stuart. Rounds out. Oh, excellent shot. 64 hit points. Long range away. Long way away. It's almost at the other end of the map. Rounds out. And he gets another hit. Splash one this time. 3.38 hit points rather. It's got a burst radius of about 2 meters. 1.39 actually. So you have to get the shell close if you're going to do some damage. And it also helps to dial in on the target. But that can be difficult if the target's fast moving. Rounds out the Valentine. Well, it zipped over the engine deck of the Valentine and hit the ground below. But we've lost our teammate who was holding up the enemy at that point, the Stuart 1-4. And we're having to just adjust a little to try and hit the enemy tanks as they come up towards us. The M2 medium will start spotting for us very shortly. The enemy have held up our tanks on the west side of the map for the moment. Okay, that M2 medium needs to be a little careful. He is actually a bot. You get a lot of bots at this level. And this game does have bots in. The bots are the ones with the colons before and after the name. Okay, we've got a Cruiser 3. It's a bot. Rounds out. Oh, another hit, and is now one shot. And he goes down very easily there to the M2 medium. Okay, lined up on the Valentine. Rounds out. Oh, another hit. 28 hit points this time. And the Valentine is a real player. The reload time is pretty fast. Standard reload is 10.35 seconds. And Cursed by Design's got it down to about, I think it's about 8. Was it? No, 7 actually. Or at least I thought it was 7 there, but for a second it looked like 7. We'll see in a second. 9.69. And he hits the engine deck of the Valentine, which is a weak spot actually. Go for it again. Rounds out. Direct hit. But I don't think he actually did any damage off that shot, just tracked him. Do it again. Oh, on that one, RNG took it to one side. But you can see that Valentine's not going anywhere fast if he keeps getting hit. And another one into the side, the other side. And we got the damage assist off that one from him being tracked. Okay, a T-70 appeared for a short while, but he backed off. I don't think he liked the fact that he saw that Valentine being played with, but he's moved up now. Rounds out. Direct hit, 62 hit points. Now, is that a bot or not? I think it is a bot, actually. Pretty sure. Yep, it is a bot. Now, bots can play very dirty, actually, because they do switch to premium ammunition if they get hit once. And that's a direct hit. We're up by 2 tanks at the moment. Oh, he's moved forward. Flying. No, couldn't get that one on the fly. He's having to lead the target because he's moving so quickly. Lines it up. Rounds out. Just misses him. But he is down to a 1 shot now. We only need to put the round near him. Unfortunately, we lost the M2 medium. And we're dialing in. Almost ready. Another bit of reticule bloom there. We're at the edge of the field of fire, and we now lost sight of the T-70. Oh, Panzer IIG went in and got a ram kill off him. Okay, Panzer IIG on the enemy team has come up to the pass. I think our Panzer IIG may have lost some hit points, but so is that one. He's lost 109 off that one. Our guys are now moving around the enemy down on the west side of the map. Although the enemy does have a Panzer IIJ. Now that's the premium light tank, the OP one. In fact, the Sexton I is probably one of the few vehicles in the game, apart from that Vespa, who is actually capable of doing damage to a Panzer IIJ. In fact, actually, that Vespa wouldn't do damage to the Panzer IIJ because, of course, he's on the enemy team. Oh, 1-shot kill. Absolutely wiped him out. The shell must have gone into the cockpit, killed all the players. And now the enemy team is at a disadvantage. There's only 3 of them left. But one of them is that Panzer IIJ. And yes, he has to be a real player because it is a premium light tank. Now, the enemy Panzer IIG actually is just the other side of the pass. He did wipe out our teammate. And we're now 3 all left in the game. Might be a good idea to get into a bush. Yeah, because we don't want the Panzer IIG to get sight of us, spot us and shoot us from long range. The view range of this Arty is 330 meters, so if that Panzer IIG can actually get a shell into us whilst we're stationary. No, he didn't lead the target there. Got to lead the target, and he did get spotted. Panzer IIG's run for cover. Well, that's a direct hit right on the turret. Unfortunately, we did get spotted again in the process. We'll try another one. And we're being hit. And that's a kill. I do believe he actually was using the 20mm gun there. Well, no, he wasn't using the 20mm. I'm completely wrong. He was using the 30mm gun. The 3cm cannon. Now, I think we're going to go after the Panzer II Aslains J, rather, I should say. Tried a blind shot. It's 2 against 2. But so long as the T127 can actually spot where the enemy is, we might be able to get shots into him. The problem is that Panzer IIJ, he does have rather tough armour, which means we're probably the only one who can pen him. The T127 hasn't got a gun powerful enough to get through the armour, even if he uses the APCR. Now I reckon that Panzer IIJ is headed towards our cap. We'll just have to wait and see. The T127 could take out the T46, but the problem is the T127 is a bot. And he probably won't take the initiative to go to the cap unless we do. The T-46 on the enemy team is a real player, and here he comes. Now, has he spotted us? He's about to. Yes, he has. Let's see if we can get around into him. Oh, one-shot kill. We did take a hit from the T-46, but that was so well dialed in that there was no way that T-46 was going to survive a direct impact that penetrated him. Beautifully played. Accurate. He let that one dial in. He knew he was going to take a hit from the T-46, but he just said, I'm not going to care about this. I'm just going to let that shot be incredibly accurate. And it worked. Ooh, now the Panzer IIJ is in sight. Hello? Let's see if we can take him out. And it's a lesson for all those players out there who think buying a Panzer IIJ is a good investment. It's not, because it can be taken out. Now, we are being hit at this moment by the Panzer IIJ. But if we use a premium round next shot... No, he's not going to use it. He could use it. We are taking some damage. And we're down to a one shot. Oh! That did not work. He could have used the premium round. He probably would have taken the Panzer IIJ out. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. And the T127, far from actually coming to get a reset, is actually headed towards the enemy cap. Which means, of course, the enemy team's going to win. If Cursed by Design had actually loaded a premium round, he could have gone straight through the armour of that Panzer IIJ, because of course his armour plate's only about 50mm thick, and of course these premium rounds are capable of doing at least 90mm of armour. So unfortunately I think he put the wrong ammo in there, and our T127 started capping. Now, I guess the only way we're going to win this one is if the Panzer IIJ is silly enough to leave the cap and go over and try and kill the T127. But I don't think he's silly enough to do that. Well, I suppose there's one consolation. Cursed by Design did get in enough damage to get 20% of the enemy hit pool, which means he might be on for a high caliber. 1,085 hit points of damage recorded, but he did get some blind hits in there, so I think he actually got a higher amount. And the enemy's capped out, so unfortunately it is a loss, but it was a decent game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first ace tanker for Cursed by Design in the Sexton I. You can tell it's the first one because he's got the scrolls underneath. You only get that the first time. He also got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him during the game, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12, and he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, but unfortunately it was a defeat. His win rate was 6,101, which is Super Unicum standard and quite a bit more. It could have been a victory if he'd used the right ammunition towards the end. I'm certain if he fired in the armor-piercing rounds straight through that Panzer IIJ, it would have gone immediately through them. And even if he bounced one round, he could have tried it again. But unfortunately, when he was firing, he was in plain view of the enemy. And he really needs to pull back after getting sight of the enemy and then dialing in again on the spot, and that would have worked. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he was. Well, he did get the highest damage on his team, and the fact that the enemy team actually got more hit points tends to make me think the Panzer IIJ actually shot one of his own teammates and disqualified himself from getting the high caliber, which then immediately went to Cursed by Design, who got 1,249 hit points. So the highest damage was actually the Panzer IIJ, 1,439, but Cursed by Design got the default when the Panzer IIJ shot his teammate. So, yep, Cool-headed Top Gun and Invader to the Panzer IIJ, so at least he got 3 medals out of it. When it came to kills, it was the Panzer IIJ. He got 6 kills out of that one. 3 kills went to the Cursed by Design, 1 kill each to the Panzer IIJ and the T-46 on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, it was the Panzer IIJ with 1400 base experience points, 576 went to Cursed by Design, and 325 went to the T-46. He fired 28 rounds in the game, got 14 direct hits on the enemy and 2 penetrations and 16 splash. Damage of 1,249 hit points, of which 829 were at more than 300 meters. Do we show any of the ones he penned? Well, he penned the T-46. That was the one with the very accurate shot towards the end of the game. He also penned one of the others. We just look down the list until we come to the one that he did pen. And there it is. It's the Vesper. Yes, now that shell went straight through the cockpit and blew the thing to pieces. We look at the rest of the detail. He did 33 hits received from the enemy. Of those, 15 were penetrations, 17 non-penetrations, and 1 hit by way of splash damage as well. 187 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed, 311 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 38,231 credits on a premium count, got 19,115 from personal reserves, 4,887 hit points credits, I should say, for courageous resistance. Did I say that all the way wrong way round when I should have said hit points instead of credits? Probably. Okay, 62,233 credits altogether, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables took away 38,949 credits profit. He also got 25 bonds for that game, and 864 base XP, 501 for courageous resistance, 819 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 2,184 experience points altogether. Yes, unfortunately, that's not base XP. That's the base XP, but there again. A good game, very good game. I think he actually made the mistake of actually using the wrong ammunition at the end, but obviously I've explained that why. It's down to the fact that those armor-piercing rounds are just so much better, and it's only 50mm of armor on the Panzer IIJ, but that's enough to defeat most of the enemy tanks that it was up against, except the Arty. Now, the Arty could damage it with HE, before they did the nerf, but now they've actually done the nerf, it's much easier to get the penetration and do the damage with the armor piercing rounds instead of the HE rounds. So slight mistake there, but it was an ace tanker game, can't deny that, and it's his first ace tanker, so congratulations to Cursed by Design. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.